Hi there, welcome to another episode of Investment Insight presented by McCay Wealth Advisory. I'm Bradley Covert, sitting down today with Brent McCay. Brent, the 850 credit score,
Right.
Is it possible?
Right, so there's a great article in the Wall Street Journal by a man named Steve Mitchell, and he attempted to have the perfect 850 credit score that very few Americans have, but there is a small percentage that do. So this gentleman, 52 years old, so had a lot of history of credit. He spent 5 years cracking the code by changing how he paid off accounts, when he opened accounts, and when he closed accounts. So what did he find? So obviously the first one is paying your bills on time helps your score. Maxing out your credit card hurts your score, of course. Closing old accounts can also hurt your score. But opening more credit can actually help your score. Now, each move affects people differently, so he basically played the game with a Bank of America app to try to get to that perfect 850 score. But the algorithm showed that people that are only using roughly 1% of their available credit is the optimal level for the 850 score. He eventually got the perfect score, the less than 2% of people get. But then, of course, the big question was, he asked, was it worth it? And he said basically it wasn't, because people that have a 750 credit score or an 850 don't really receive a different interest rate that's significant. But some of the key things to think about if you're trying to get that credit score up higher, or you're trying to close the perfect, is pay your bills on time. Don't max out your credit card. You could potentially even maybe make a payment mid-month to try to increase that card. Closing some of your old accounts isn't always a good idea because you lose some of that credit history.
Right.
And then opening up, getting additional credit, even though you're applying for it, goes down. Eventually, can help improve your score. So I thought it was interesting that I didn't realize people could get a perfect credit score, but there is a small percentage of people in America, and one of the key things was they borrow less than 1% of the credit available. So I'm not sure it's much good for them if they're not using it, but it is something to, I guess, put a feather in your cap on.
Very true, very interesting. Brent, thanks for talking to us about that. Thank you for joining us. To stay up to date on more educational content just like this, be sure to like our page at McCay Wealth Advisory on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks again for joining us. We'll see you next time.